How many times have you thought while watching an isekai that yes, this is another world. Yes, this is a world which is completely unknown to me. The characters of this show feel like an actual living breathing human being who are not just there to serve the plot but have their own individual life outside the screen. Yes, this world does not revolve around our main character, but rather our main character is just an insignificant part of this world who just happened to be transported here by chance. He or she is not special. They are not some overpowered character from the start thanks to mysterious forces, but rather he or she is just another human being who has some luck and brains which will make them important in the future. For me, there are very few isekais which do that, and one of them that does this best is Ascendance of a Bookworm. Our plot starts like any other isekai. Urano, who's a massive book nerd, one day dies in an earthquake by getting buried under the books in a library. But she finds herself in another girl's body, known as Myne, where her love and passion for books is so great that she tries to find books to read even though she cannot walk properly. But soon comes to realization that she has got isekai'd into the world of magic, which is set far before printing press were invented, where books are hard to find and the ones she finds are far too expensive for commoner like her to purchase. But that is the thing about passion and love, you just cannot let it go. So she decides to make use of knowledge she has to create a book and eventually a library where books can be cheap and available for everyone to read. Obviously, she's not a freaking genius, but she's smart enough who has read on basic things and is not afraid to experiment to achieve the goal. The plot is simple, but the journey and complications we have towards getting there are anything but that. Bookworm is not like, I want to make a book. So the next thing they do is magically get a bunch of papers without any explanation, but rather we go forward step by step, bit by bit, while taking all the factors into consideration. These factors are not only about finding the proper resources to make a paper, but the show also factors in Myne's age, her health problem, which becomes a huge plot point later on in the story, convincing her parents to acquire the resources for paper or letting her go into the forest to find them, where they have to chop a specific wood, cut down the monster vines which are harmless when they sprout, but the bigger they get, the more dangerous they are. Enough dangerous to bring ruin to an entire village, having specific climatic conditions to just make an attempt and eventually making the real deal. She's no Kirito that at the start of an episode, he wants a revive elixir and by the end of it, we get it, thanks to him being overpowered. To just put in context how much time it takes, we start our journey to make a book at episode 1 and by episode 8, we only have a single page of paper. But during this journey, we don't just achieve how to make paper, we learn the language of that world through Myne, how calculations are done, how does the economic structure work, what is the currency of this world, how agreements are forged so no one can break them, and most importantly, we get to see the map of the kingdom or their city. Ascendance of a Bookworm is brimming with world building and the type of world building which is usually associated with the common man's day-to-day needs. For example, the shampoos did not exist in their world, but by having knowledge from her previous life, Myne creates a shampoo by just heating a specific type of oil and water, which not only helps women all over the kingdom by getting rid of their scratchy head and gives them silky smooth hair, but she also sells the recipe of the shampoo and helps a poor family out. She crafts hair ornaments for girls, she creates different type of spices to make food taste even better. These things improve the everyday life standards of people, which is no big deal at first, but slowly it builds up. And if a valuable thing such as paper is made easily accessible and cheap, it will topple the entire societal structure, which makes Myne as a prime target for nobles to whoa. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. A great man once said,
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
That's the same thing with world and characters. Interesting world cannot be built without interesting characters, and vice versa. If you don't have interesting characters, why would I give a shit about that character's side of world? But Ascendance of a Bookworm does the job of making me care really well. It introduces to this personal drama aspect from different sides of the world, like the merchants, who are usually seen as the cool guys who are wise because they have traveled the world, have a reputation of wandering exiled nomads who have no place to call home in this anime. Even though they are street smart, they don't get the respect they very much deserve. Or the church. We all know how the things go when a church is mentioned in a show, but in this anime, not every person there is similar. Some are there because they have no choice, and some actively chose to be there and are trying to change things for the better. But the biggest thing which shocked me was when they tackled the big isekai question. Usually in isekai, when someone is transported to this world or transported in other person's body, everything plays out like no questions asked. For example, it is never mentioned where did they come from, their past life, Or if you are possessing someone else's body, it is like the person did not change for others. But in the case of Bookworm, it tackles the question of what happened to your family back home. Or what happened to the person whom the body belonged to? Did they also get isekai somewhere else? Or did they die for you to take their place? And that opens the door of Myne acting differently and not as actual Myne, because there is no way one can act as the same person as somebody else. We have different way of speech, different quirks, different body language, and different vibe in general. Ascendance of a Bookworm tackles this question of whether it is just okay to live in someone else's body and trick everyone else for your own and their good, or just be honest, tell them the truth, hurt them, and compromise your own position. All these drama things eventually lead Myne to form a deep character relationships with people who we thought were just going to be throwaway characters, but we genuinely start caring for them. And ayo, what the fuck? Really? Are you serious? Him? Come on, man. Ascendance of a Bookworm is a real diamond in the rough. Every time you think the story can't take a turn for a better, it fucking drifts into the most what the fuck plot, which makes complete sense. There are two moods you will have majority of the time while watching this show. First, oh, I'm really excited to see what Myne discovers or invents next. I bet it will be really cool. And the second is, oh shit, these characters are going to make me cry. Oh no, am I really going to cry? No, don't separate them. Please don't break them apart. Bookworm perfectly balances the bigger picture of the world while still keeping things personal to Myne and her friends and family, without the fantasy battle aspect. Yet, probably, Ascendance of a Bookworm is really precious and it is a true masterpiece, is what I really want to say. But there are a bit of hiccups on the journey. First, Ascendance of a Bookworm does not have a hook. Rezero has the gimmick of revival. In Slime, we get a promise to meet Veldora again, and Mushoku Tensei does not have a specific hook until episode 6, but till then, the gorgeous animation makes you stick with it anyway. And I am saying these points from a perspective of a dude who is not an isekai simp, unlike me. But for Bookworm, the story and overall progression is slow. I mean really slow. The first quote-unquote big moment happens in episode 6, which is not a hook, but it is a bit of a drama and accomplishment of making a paper. The animation is great, even amazing when it needs to be, but it cannot stand up to the likes of Mushoku Tensei and Rezero. Ascendance of a Bookworm takes its time to get you invested. It opens the door, says, sit down, get comfy for a while, experience the world from the eyes of someone who lives in it, and before you know it, you are completely immersed in it. And you will say, give me more of that boring stuff about world, economy, and merchants. I love that thing. But getting there might be a bit of trouble for some of you. Ascendance of a Bookworm is a bit boring at the start, and that is the damn point of it. I have to give everyone a fair warning before they get in. Watch till episode 5 if you don't watch a lot of isekai, and the ones who love isekai, what the fuck are you doing? Go! Get out of here. Watch it. Isekai is really amazing. I really think it is. It is a type of genre with endless potential and an ability to have amazing concepts, but it still has to get at that stage of good consistency. And with isekais like Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, and Bookworm leading the charge, I don't think it will be long before isekai completely redefines itself from trash to treasure. With that, hopefully you liked this video. Smash like and subscribe for more content like this. That's about it. See you in the next one.